Hello.
Hello,
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Juicy Talk.
You got me cut off again.
I do not. Stop it.
Okay, there we go. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Juicy Talk. We're glad you're in the studio today.
And that's Juicy Talk.
I'm Juicy. And that's Juice.
Oh, Juice.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
So, we got a very interesting show today. Hey, LBE in the building.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? My homegirl is in the building. What's going on? So, we got a very interesting topic today.
Put the babies to bed.
Put the babies to bed. It's serious.
Yeah.
We going in. This is not, if you're sensitive, come up out of here.
Yeah,
okay, because it's a real conversation we having today. Hey,
what's up?
Hey, so we got like a really good conversation.
What's up, Valerie?
What's up, Valerie?
Valerie's here.
We got some people in the studio. We got my man, digital creator, content creator, Wack man, but we call him Dame. We gonna bring him in.
What's up?
What's up? What's going on? We doing good. So, today we're going to get straight into it.
Yeah.
We just getting, hey, Pam.
Hey, Pam.
What's up? Thank you for tuning in. So, we're going to get straight to it. This conversation is going to be a real deep one. So, if you sensitive, just leave the chat now, because we just leave now. Look, because we about to have a serious conversation. It's grown and sexy talk right now. Put the kids to bed. This is not a show that the kids can watch with you tonight. Hey, Nakia.
She's in the building.
What's going on? So, I'm going to play a video for you guys, and then we're going to get straight into it. Straight into it. Bear with me. We're going to leave the studio. We'll be right back.
Talk to men too, and I'm going to give y'all so much permission to fucking learn and advance to where we are as women. Like, we doing the work. Men are not doing the work, and I'm going to say it. Y'all not doing the work. And let me just say this too. Y'all don't know shit about pussy. It's one of your favorite things. It's one of your favorite things. You don't know shit. I don't understand how you don't know shit about pussy. Or if your dick is working properly. What should we know, though? First of all, go to the doctor, put your nuts in a doctor's hand, and cough to the fucking left. Find out what's wrong with your dick first. There's a lot of... No, I'm being very honest. Right. I've been hooking up, and dudes' dicks are not working properly. Y'all done ate all that fucking McDonald's and all that shit. You ain't drinking water. You're not fucking taking care of yourself. And that's your dick. That's like one of your prized possessions. Mm-hmm. You go get your car checked. You won't get your dick checked. Damn. And then get mad at us when your dick don't work. Don't get mad at me. That's your department. Damn. That's your department. That's real. Go get your dick checked. Mm-hmm. And then go get your mind checked. Mm-hmm. Stop showing up to Tinder dates expecting me to solve your fucking dilemma. I show up for dick and you throw me a Rubik's Cube of your fucked up ass shit. Like, I don't know why your daddy don't love you. You know what I'm saying? Your mind affects your dick. It affects your dick. It affects your dick. Do you think you're going to be walking around sad and depressed and your dick is just going to be out here wilding? No, it's not. It's sad like you. So take care of your dick. I really believe that's a lot of problems with these podcast dudes and these passport bros. Y'all don't know how to fuck a woman correctly. And then when she tell you that, now she ain't shit. No, go learn how to fuck. I bet you it'll solve a lot of problems between us. Because y'all don't know how to fuck. And you're mad because we do.
This is the best mental health promo I ever heard in my life.
I'm being honest with y'all.
Your mind impacts your dick. You're right.
I am being so honest. I really believe that a lot of friction is now women are going, we are tired of bad sex, and we're tired of being quiet about bad sex. I had some bad sex 2 nights ago. I told him at the Ritz. I told that motherfucker to get the fuck out. How dare you fuck me like that at the Ritz? The goddamn Empire State Building is right there. How you fuck me like that in front of the Empire State Building? Get the fuck out of here. Poor guy.
Well, at least it ain't no surprise to him. He's not hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, trust me.
Jesus.
You know who you are.
Leslie fucking Jones,
ladies and
gentlemen. Go get her book right now.
Yes.
Make sure you watch her on The Daily Show all next week, hosting The Daily Show.
And to that gentleman, she's talking about go get therapy. You're going to need some help.
Lord have mercy.
All that.
Oh, can you hear us?
Can you see us? People in the chat, can y'all see us?
Can you hear us? Dame.
Yep, I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay, cool. Something happened with our camera. We don't know. Our camera just went out.
What about the people in the chat, though?
Can y'all see us in the chat? They can see us.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay, but now our camera, my backup camera came in, so it's a little fuzzy. It's not as good quality as the other one. We're going to try to work on that. All right, so we're going to get straight into it. We're not going to hold up the show. So what y'all think about that?
Yeah, so oh boy, I have so much I can say. So I'll start by saying
first,
she did make.
Introduce yourself, please.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm Schwack Man. My friends call me Damien. The rest of y'all can't call me that. I am a content creator, former activist, former fighter, veteran, bunch of other shit that I'd rather not get into. Right now, I specialize in making adult content and helping other adult content creators build their platforms too.
Okay. All right.
So to get into what was said, I'll start by saying she did make a few valid points. The mental health aspect, and with a lot of men not taking care of their physical health, those definitely play a huge part in a guy's performance. I don't know why that's news. That part confused me. I thought that was fairly common knowledge. The other thing about not knowing how to fuck.
What part did you say was common knowledge again?
I thought that knowing that your mental health and your physical well-being, how that affected your sexual performance, I thought that was common knowledge. The part about not knowing how to fuck, this is where women always want to debate with me. Too many women feel like.
Are you ready to go there, man?
Yeah, because
oh yeah, no, for sure.
You on the right show.
Too many women feel like because you don't have those signs that kind of tell on you that stop you from performing, right? That you know how to fuck. Newsflash, you don't. Because a man gets a nut, does not mean that sex was good. People don't understand that is a fairly easy physical response to get from a guy. That don't mean the sex was good. And it also doesn't mean that it always happens. I've pulled out and spit on more booty holes and butt cracks and faked the fucking nut than I care to fucking remember. All right. I didn't been fucking a chick with a condom and pretending like I nutted and hurried up and fucking ran and dumped and flushed the condom so she didn't get to see whether or not there was any fucking nut in there. I've done that way too many fucking times for a woman to tell me that the majority of the lack of good sex is solely the responsibility of men. These are facts.
So listen, I can agree with that, right? I don't feel like it's solely for men, right? It's not a man's responsibility for good sex, but it is a man's responsibility to come with the proper equipment. You understand what I'm saying? And stop thinking when it comes to sex, it should be about pleasing your partner, right?
I agree,
and your partner as well pleasing you. So stop thinking that pushing her legs back to the bedpost feels good to her. Ask her what feels. Some girls like that, but some don't. And we're not all created equal. So you have to have dialect and conversation. You got to have a conversation with someone about what it is that they like when it comes to sex. And yes, and women, y'all know, women in the chat, y'all will speak up. We fake orgasms all the time.
Two things that the military has taught me that I use in all aspects of life. I can apply to this.
Okay.
Attention to detail and teamwork is key. So, attention to detail being you have to figure out the puzzle that is each woman that you deal with, right? And then teamwork meaning if I have to sit there and figure it out by myself, here's what kills me. There are too many women who don't know how to please themselves properly. But you're complaining about how men don't know how to please you. You have all kinds of construction fucking equipment and fucking motorized and fucking lights and bells and fucking whistles to get yourself off. But you want a guy who has the same dick that he was born with from the day that he came out of some box to be able to compete with all of these toys. And you don't even know how these toys are really working for you.
It's damaging them.
That's what I always say. You know, like I don't know if toys damage you, right?
It messes up the nerves. I think it messes a woman's nerves.
I don't know about that, right? But what I will say,
that's just like if a man jacked off too much,
but it's different. It's a difference. So I'm not gonna say, but I know a lot of women who do masturbate, and I know they don't miss. You understand?
I heard that Rose is a bad boy. I heard that Rose is. They said they put
that's fire.
That's fire. They said.
Hey, all I'm gonna say, not even trying to be funny. All I'm gonna say is this: before the rose was the rose, there was this egg-shaped toy, and when me and Cookie first started talking, before we actually even made anything official, I bought her one of those. She used it; it did its thing, but I got a hold of her again and showed her exactly the reason why that was not fucking with me. So yeah, that's a great add-on. That's something else too. Now, guys, I gotta kind of turn the gun at y'all for a minute. There also are a lot of guys who look at toys as competition and not an accessory for sex. Now, some stuff you can't make it an accessory. There's literally fucking dildo drills. You can't make that a fucking accessory. But other things like vibrators and things like that, those are supposed to be there to kind of put the accent on sex. I think when women get too dependent on that, it kind of desensitizes them to real, actual sex.
Yes.
Maybe not even to the point of physically damaging, but just desensitizes them to the overall experience and the sensations that come with real, actual sex.
So follow that.
I mean,
agree with that. I mean, speaking for a lady, right? Because both of y'all are speaking from the male perspective.
That's what
right?
we can speak from.
Exactly. And the problem is that ask a woman. So let me tell you, okay? the toys are not the problem. The problem is that I think that when you think about an orgasm, right? You're thinking about the orgasm from the male's perspective. You're not really seeking to please that woman. So a lot of times, a lot of men don't want to take direction. If your woman is right there and she's saying, to the right, no, not right there. If she's pushing you back, if she's telling you to slow down, you thinking about your nut and you're not thinking about her nut. And so therefore you're not trying to satisfy her.
Question. Why are y'all fucking that nigga then?
Listen.
Why are you fucking that nigga? Because if I'm getting my dick sucked and Shorty is scraping my meat with her teeth and I'm telling her, hey, yo, chill, that does not feel good. I need you to, do this or do, and you're not doing it, the session is over.
I mean,
you don't get a call back. The session is over.
But if you're in a relationship, if you're married to a person, right? If everything, because sex is not the whole entirety of a relationship. So he may be great at everything else. And you're not going to throw a whole person away just because they are not giving you what you need sexually completely.
Who not?
You're going to see, I'm not throwing it. Listen, I'm not going to throw a person away just because they off rip may not give me what I need sexually, right? I'm going to teach you what I need because see, I know what I like.
But that's it though. If they're teachable, that's a completely different thing, right? You can't help the equipment that you have. You can't help what experience you have coming into it. If you come into that situation and the person that is you're dealing with is like, okay, here's the package that I have. Are you teachable? I'm willing to teach you if you're willing to learn. And that person is willing to learn. That's a completely separate thing. What you were just saying when you were like, you're given direction and this person doesn't want to listen, that person isn't teachable. In that case, why are you fucking that nigga?
I can agree with that. If a person is not, and some people, I just think that, I think when it comes to men, a lot of times we're fighting with y'all ego. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell a man like, look, babe, something is going on with you. Your penis is not as hard as it used to. Like, I need you to go get it checked out. Maybe you're dealing with some stuff. Maybe you need to start working out. Maybe, maybe you need to work out. Maybe you need to do some different things. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Makes the difference when it comes to sex. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That makes the difference.
That's less of a sexual thing and more quality of that person. That's more that, because that kind of applies across the board when it comes to relationships. Are you willing to listen when I have a concern? Right. And if that person isn't willing to listen, that extends well beyond sexual intercourse or whatever the case is, because now you have a problem with that person valuing how you feel in general. So that's a completely different thing. When it comes to, like, okay, for instance, I have dealt with, and this isn't from a point of like trying to inflate my chest. This is just from a point of fact. I've dealt with a lot of women, right? I've dealt with a lot of women in a professional setting when it comes to shooting material. Okay. When you go into a situation and before you shoot, you sit down and you go over, these are the things that work for me. These are the things that don't. If you're shooting with somebody and she says, all right, I don't like a thumb in my ass when you're hitting it from the back, and you got her bent over and you shove your entire fucking thumb up this girl's ass, session's probably going to be over. That's a respect thing. So if you're still dealing with somebody, you're still allowing somebody access to your body after they have shown you, I do not respect what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to making me feel good, that is a you problem. You are devaluing yourself to continue to deal with that person. So,
I mean, I can't argue with you on that one. I can't argue with you on that because you're right. I mean, to a certain, but I think that a lot of times, when it comes to women and somebody said something earlier that I think that was very important. It says, can we decide if we're talking about sports sex or romantic intimacy? So when I'm talking about sex, about romantic intimacy, I'm talking about somebody that you love, that you care for, that you're in a relationship with, and y'all have. So I'm not talking about sports sex because in that case, cares, right? Because like I don't, I'm too grown to just be having sex with sport at this age, right? That's not what I'm into. Some people are. That's just not me. But I do think it does make a difference in your concern for if you're pleasing this person or not. I just think that in general, when you're with somebody and you love them and you care about them and they're not meeting your needs sexually, but everything else, they're meeting your needs in every other way. Because it could have been good. Your needs change too, right? You grow, need change, bodies change, all of this stuff. So you have to be able to have a conversation. You're not just going to throw somebody away. Like if you were with somebody and they were good sexually at one point and then something changed, you're not going to just discard your husband or your mate, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's something completely different. Exactly. When you're talking about that, that's time that was put in and that person showing you who they are. So that's something completely different. But if we're talking about off, like right out the gate, the sex isn't good and you're not willing to learn what it is that makes me feel good, then yeah, I got to get you out of here.
So I'm not talking. I'm talking about, it's so crazy. I'm talking about somebody that you're really, you care about, because I think that's what's happening in my circles of people that I come in contact with and I talk to. One of the things that I hear a lot of women complaining about is, sex is not the same anymore. Things have changed. He doesn't listen. My needs have changed. We can't discuss it. When I try to bring it up to him, his ego is affected by it, because a lot of times men egos have a lot to do
I mean, you
with
can't
their
tell this
sex.
guy during when you having sex.
I
I
mean,
can't
even
feel
if it's
it.
afterwards,
You can't say, you know what,
a
when we had
man
sex,
though,
I didn't feel a thing. That is not the time to tell that guy that.
that's not something that you gonna had it. Y'all done had that conversation before. Like if it's that's like when you first meet a person, you know if you gonna like it, you know if you can't
No,
feel it.
you know, I believe some women look at men like, oh, I think he can fuck, and then when they get him home, that's the opposite.
I mean, I think that's kind of true for everybody, because I've definitely been thrown off by that. The pretty chick that everybody was chasing, and
Right.
then you get it and you're like, I could have had a fucking V8. Like, what was this? Like that happens a lot. And even it happens in, you know, personal settings and professional settings, because you get these people that have 200,000 followers on Twitter and they're in the top whatever percent on OnlyFans, and you're like, oh shit, this will be great for my numbers. I want to shoot with her. And then you shoot and it's like, really? There's a lot of acting that goes into that. Yeah. And she knows, the person that's with the laughing emojis knows exactly what I'm talking about. She's seen it. So like it's terrible.
Yeah. So and I get that a lot, but a lot of times, so my thing is, how do you have a conversation with somebody that you love, that you care about, that you're in a relationship with, that like, hey, the sex has really changed, or let's really just talk about what's really going on. Like a lot of men, their egos get in the way of really being able to have this real conversation. They like, I've talked to women that I know who talk about how, the guy, he can't get as hard as he used to. Like he used to get rock hard, and I was like semi soft. And, he's like trying to shove it in her, and she like, this shit ain't working for me. And, but she don't want to hurt his feelings, And when she tried to have a conversation with him outside of the bedroom, it's met with, well, you need to do more. I need you to do this. I need you to, he's putting it back on her, but it's really probably a more medical issue that need to be addressed. All right. Alinda said, Juicy, you made a very valid point previously. If you are in a relationship or a marriage with a man who has had multiple sexual partners and he decides he wants the variety, he gets bored. That's a good point too.
A decent point too. But to what you are actually saying, I have some ideas. And I have some ideas because I've been there.
Okay.
So I will say this. If I'm going through a bunch of other things that might be affecting me mentally, that affect my performance, and the only thing that it is that you come to me to talk about is my sexual performance, I'm probably going to be less likely to want to listen to anything you have to say, because it's probably very obvious the other things that is I have going on that are affecting that. And if you haven't come to me to address, hey, listen, I know you're having issues with, you had to change jobs, you're not making as much money as you were before, and I know that's stressing you out. Or I know you lost a friend and you kind of been, not yourself for the last couple of months, or whatever. It could be a whole bunch of other things. And you bypass that in order to come to me and tell me, hey, you're not fucking me like you used to fuck me. Your dick don't be as hard as it used to. And I'm just saying, if this is in those situations where the cause is not medical, where it's like a mental thing. If you have bypassed every other thing and the first thing you come to me about is I'm not making you nut as many times or as hard or at all because I'm not there when we're fucking, I'm probably going to tune you out too. Because how did you miss every other fucking thing that is going on that has contributed to that, and you come straight to sex? So Now, if it's a medical thing and you're like, hey, you know, you're honestly not picking up on anything else. You're in tune with your man, so you haven't picked up on anything that could really be affecting him mentally. You have the type of relationship, which a lot of y'all don't, where you can have that man be open with you without being judgmental, and he can come to you about things and talk to you, and he hasn't done that. So you're kind of able to rule out maybe a lot of mental stuff, and it's a physical thing, and then he's still not receptive in that aspect. We can kind of start to put the blame on him when it comes to not, at least when it comes to not taking care of that or going to find out about that. But I've seen too many situations where you have women who are just like, if it doesn't fall in line with the things that I need right now, your mental health be damned. I'm gonna my issue is what it is I'm addressing right now. My pussy not getting pleased the way I wanted it. Whole time he's thinking about, I've got to make sure this person has this. I need to get this, and I've lost all of these resources. This person just passed. I need to be there for these people. He's got all of these things going on, and the only thing you're worried about is your box. Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit either.
All right, we got a caller. Welcome to Juicy Talk. Who's calling? I need your name and your age and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, this is Linda. How y'all doing?
Hey, Linda.
What's up, Linda?
I am 62, and I'm from Cleveland, but I'm currently in Philadelphia.
Okay. Well,
welcome. Okay, so okay, I want to address the toy thing. Toys for women can be an excitement and self-gratification, but prolonged use with those things will desensitize a woman to actual physical intimacy with a man, because it makes her harder to reach a climax.
Right.
Because she's relied so much on that artificial stimulation. Maybe not for all women, but I know for the most part, from a medical standpoint, it's a true fact.
Okay.
Then the other issue is that men go through changes like do women. Men experience menopause, and a lot of men don't realize that, but they do. And their libido goes down. It's hard for them to have an erection. It's hard for them to be stimulated sexually because their body's going through changes. So as a man ages, just like a woman, his body goes through changes too. But you can't expect for a person, a person, man or a woman, you can't place all the accountability on that person to help that person to get there. Because if it's an issue, you identify it, get it addressed, and you do have those engaging conversations. And then on the other flip side, sometimes it's really hard to please a man sexually if he's had multiple sexual partners, because at some point he will get bored. So then what do you do?
I agree with
care
that.
and love each other. You know what I'm saying? The two care and love each other, but he's just not fulfilled sexually, and therefore the man or woman will start looking outward for that stimulation because they're not getting it at home.
That's
so
true.
it's sort of like a double-edged sword.
Hey, Auntie. Hey, Karen.
You want to have a relationship and connection, but then you still you want that variety of sex.
I agree. Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. So with that, I'll say the solution is a lot more simple than maybe people think. And that is, be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Because the majority of the time, speaking from experience, I'll get bored of the same things. Like, not bored of that person. So if the last 10 times we had sex, we're in the bed, I'm probably going to get bored with that. If I can't go for a walk and fuck you at the park when nobody's around, or we go to the Halloween store and we're trying on like costumes for the party and I'll fuck you in the dressing room. If I can't do stuff like that, then I'm probably going to get bored. So having a partner who's willing to maybe step outside and do things that maybe they hadn't exactly done before, but you guys have been together and you're exploring life together. Especially if you're married, you have a long-term partner. The goal is to explore life together. So say I've had threesomes or whatever the case was. I still haven't had threesomes with her. So maybe I want to experience these things with her because this is who I want to be with the rest of my life. So I want to experience all of these things. Everybody keeps pointing out the multiple partners thing, but you realize that what that is this person is picking different things that these different people did. And it likes and covets those experiences, those skill sets, those different things that happen. If you have a person who's willing to branch out and do these multiple things with you, it's very hard to get bored.
Yeah, we kind of piggyback on what you said.
Okay, but here's my question to you with regards to that. So, okay, that's fine if you want to live outside that box, if y'all both want to do that. But what do you do when you get to that age where one decides, I don't want to do that no more, but the other person still does?
That's a valid question.
Are you going to get
That's
rid of
a good question. And the majority of the stuff that I've been saying, I've been speaking from experience. So I don't really know what you do in that situation. I mean, other than having an honest conversation and trying to find a middle ground that works for you, unless it's something where it's like for one of those people in that relationship, they're just like, no, this is an all or nothing thing. I feel like if in most situations, you're probably going to be able to find something that kind of where you can meet in the middle and everybody, it's a livable situation for everybody.
Yeah, because see, at some point, and what you said is true. Sometimes you have to step out your comfort zone, but at some point, all things come to an end. Somebody's going to get bored or not want to do it. So shouldn't those conversations be had in advance versus getting 10 years down the road and your partner?
Absolutely. When you yeah, absolutely. When you okay, it's like when you go and you're car shopping. Everybody always uses that analogy in a way where you're trying to actually shit on a woman for, not giving you or doing certain things, but you flip that analogy to this. When you go car shopping, you look at the options that are in that car before you fucking take it off the lot and take it home with you. So you know what it is that you have. Now, you know that there are things that you can add on to this car once you have it and, make it your own, but you have those options there. You can't take a fucking car with no sunroof and turn it into a fucking convertible. So you knew that when you drove the car home. So don't suddenly get home and say, well, you're not a fucking convertible. I don't want you anymore. So yeah, you have those conversations ahead of time to where you know the base of the person that you're dealing with, and you see what's more likely to be a thing that you can work with from there. If you start off with somebody who is I only do missionary, I'm not sucking your dick, like if we have sex, it's in the bedroom and it's at night. 9 times out of 10, this person is not going to branch out and do anything outside their comfort zone. Like getting that person to suck your dick is probably the only win you'll ever have. You know what I mean? So
that's true. Yep.
No,
but then too, I mean, you brought up a good analogy, like with car shopping, right? Well, some people lease cars so that they can trade up a car and get a better car. I mean, you're gonna always see that better something as you go along, right? But you can't make that person be something because you decide you're getting bored with it.
I agree.
It's like you can't make a wrong right. See, so if you with a woman and she's engaging in that with you from the beginning, y'all had those conversations, but somewhere down the road, maybe 5 years, I don't know, maybe he or she might decide, well, you know what, I see a better option.
Everybody need a tune-up every now and then.
And she might be like, well, I'm not cool with that.
Yeah, I think that that's why I always say when it comes to relationships, you can't, whatever you start doing, you have to be able to maintain it. And I use the same analogy that I used last week on last week's show. You know, I was married before, and when I was married, I cooked when I got with my husband, my ex-husband, I cooked every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? And that was his expectation because that's what I started out doing from the time I met him. So when I got tired of it, it pissed him off if I didn't want to cook because this is something that I started doing in the beginning. So I always tell people, whatever you start, make sure you can finish. You can't add something to a relationship and start doing something or do something that you know you don't really want to do and then take it back and say, I don't want to do this anymore, because that's unfair because you started off doing it in the beginning. So you have to do those type of things first. You can't, oh yeah, this is what it's not fair to that other person. So you got to think about that as well.
Right.
And I'm adamant
to
all women, I'm adamant, very adamant about this. Don't do anything, if people, period, don't do anything you really don't want to do just to please another person. Right. You got to be authentic to yourself first and what it is that you truly want and desire. And if it's not something that you really want to do, don't do it. Even if it makes him happy and that's what he want to do.
Exactly. And see, you know what? You made a good point. You could do everything right for your mate, man or woman. You could do everything right, but then that person might decide they don't want to eat chocolate no more, but they want to go over here and have, I don't know, popcorn. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because things like that can alter a man or woman's perception of how they feel about that person intimately. So it's like, you know, when I'm just going to say, if a person decides they want to cheat, well, that woman may have given you her all. You had no reason to cheat, and now sexually she don't want to perform for you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this
make
too.
that wrong right.
I'm gonna say this too. Sometimes women also go through things. Like we use the analogy of men.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can hurt a woman to the point where she's not aroused by you anymore because you done did too much. You done put her through too much in life. She done caught you with different women. You done betrayed her trust. And I always tell men, it's really not the act of sex that is the problem. It's all the dishonesty that went along with it. You know, I'm a person, if we can talk about it, we can discuss it, and we can agree upon it, then we can do it. You know, and that's just how you have to live your life. And you know, but a lot of times,
because and you're right, Juicy, because just like the gentleman said, right? He said maybe he wants to do a threesome, but he want to do it with her. She might be cool with that in the beginning, but after a while, what if she comes to him and says, well, I want to have a threesome with 2 other dudes with you? Is that gonna be cool?
Damn.
I got an answer for that, but then I also have something that I want to point out, something that I absolutely hate. The definition of threesome. Okay. The definitions are what I'm about to tell you is regardless of gender, right? A threesome is 3 or more of 3 people all sexually interacting with each other. A train is 1 person sexually interacting with 2 or more people, but those people don't interact with each other. So if she talk about having a threesome with 2 guys, you'll never do that. Not with no guy who.
You know what? We had this debate on the short.
But wait a minute.
What he's saying is something I don't agree with, right? This is what I don't agree.
We talked about this when we went to that speakeasy. We talked about this then.
Because I know that a lot of women can only get a train ran on them, and men can only have a threesome.
No, because that's not what I'm saying. What I said was my definition is regardless of gender. So a guy can have a train run on him too. If 2 women are fucking him, but they don't fuck each other, they're not making any physical contact with each other, they're just on him, that's still a train. So that shit's not like, oh, women only have no, fuck that. If
parties have to be involved with one another in order for it to be a threesome.
For that to be a threesome. Everybody got to be fucking on everybody.
That's why you said 2 men can't have a threesome, because they not on each other.
Not 2 straight men. You're not having a threesome with 2 straight men.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, now.
But to the point that you're actually making,
he wanted
to the question, to the question that you're actually asking, if she says oh, well, I want this with two guys. You have some guys that are totally fine with that. Okay, I get behind you while he gets in front of you, or whatever the case is. There are guys that are totally fine with that. My thing is, like we said in the very beginning, know what car you're taking the fuck home. Because you know that there are some people that there are absolutely no fucking scenarios that will ever happen in. And then you have people that are going to be like,
okay,
oh, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
That's why I say, ladies, don't enter into anything that you don't want to do. Don't do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And let them know off rip. But we gotta be, you gotta be, and that goes for men too. You gotta be ready for whatever that whatever comes with that.
That's right.
So
that's
like,
right.
and I need
expectations. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Juicy. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, go ahead. You fine. Go ahead.
Listen, if the expectation is if dude wants to bring two other chicks in and bang them out, and then if she decides I'm gonna bring two dudes in, then he got to be willing to go with that. See, you can't live on one side of the tracks and be different on the other side. So you got to be even across the board, because that's not fair. Because if you want to bring two women in, but you tell her, no, I ain't cool with you bringing in two dudes, that's not being fair. The playing field ain't even.
But that depends on what you consider fair, and that also depends on what that particular couple is cool with. That's kind of like when people are outside looking in and they have these judgmental outlooks on poly relationships, and you always hear women post or say the same thing or post the same thing when it's online. If that were two guys with a woman, it would be a problem. There are plenty of polys that are set up in that exact way. So it's about who you have, what they are okay with, and what works for you guys as a couple. Because if I'm with somebody and she's like, nah, we don't bring other men in the bedroom, but we'll bring 30 bitches in the bedroom. And there's a woman outside of that going, oh, you stupid. No, maybe that's what works for them. It might not work for you. But at the end of the day, you're not in the bedroom fucking him, so it don't gotta work for you.
That's true. But my question to you is, if you could bring in two women, will you allow your woman to bring in two men?
She was not less than that.
Huh?
Go ahead. You
okay.
So the person that it is, I know I heard your question. I was trying to see what Juicy was saying, but so to answer that, my lady and I go to Escape all the time and have a variety of playtimes that, you know, have certain limitations. So I don't have that hang up. My thing is, I'm with a woman who understands who it is that I am. So
my favorite thing, find your tribe.
Yeah. So we have a level of, and don't get me wrong, it didn't start that way. Like, I did a lot of dumb shit. She did some dumb shit. There was a point where we weren't exactly sure on how to communicate with each other and be completely honest about things that we liked and wanted and things like that. And again, we're still learning certain things. But to have somebody who it is that you can kind of sit down and go, hey, listen, I think like maybe I want to try this. That comes with building up to that point. And it also comes with having a level of honesty and communication that extends beyond sex. There was something that one of these gentlemen put in here earlier that said, if you know your relationship is based on sex, you're probably doomed anyway. And that's true. Because sex is a very important part of a relationship, but it shouldn't be the center, and it's damn sure not the whole. So if you have that communication that extends to every aspect of your relationship, I've talked about stuff with Cookie that, and when I was in relationships that spanned years, that those people still don't know about me, but she does. So my thing is, it's about finding somebody that you can open up to, that you feel that it's not going to take that and use it and weaponize it later on when they have their ass on their shoulders about something else. And B, that you give that same energy to, so that they know their feelings are safe with you. People miss that and they try to jump to the fun part of dealing with each other. I've had, and just to be real blunt with it, I've had hoes that would fucking, I could take her in a room full of 36 bitches and 2 dudes and be like, cartwheel from those 2 dicks into every pussy in here, and she did. It was fun. Would I ever take her seriously? No, because even in regular conversations, and it has nothing to do with her sexual actions, but in the conversations that I had with her, it was like talking to a very immature stone fucking wall. I couldn't get anything out of that. So then I've had women who were super reserved, super shy, but really submissive and would do whatever the fuck it is that I want them to do too. But I still didn't have that rapport with them. That energy wasn't there. So
right.
You have to find a person, and the your person thing is a stretch because not everybody finds that. Some of us do. But you have to find a person who is willing to actually hear you, understand you, not judge you. And then you have to be able to make that person feel the same way about you so that y'all can kind of be on the same page. That way you're not asking these types of questions 5-6 years into a relationship when you're hyper attached in every other aspect. But then you're like, all right, so with that growing and with that changing, now we are outgrowing each other, or we're growing in different directions. You know, when you find somebody that you understand you guys are both going to grow, but you're willing to actually hold on to each other, and it's easier to do because you're willing to talk to each other. Me and her had a fucking 8-hour drive to Gatlinburg and turned the fucking music off and had a conversation the entire way. Turn around and go back home and talk the entire fucking time. And it never gets boring. So that's the base that you need for all of this shit.
Thank you, Alinda.
Right.
I appreciate you for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. It's a good topic.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up too, because you said something that was really deep. You know, just as far as like finding. Do you think? Dang, I just lost my train of thought. Hold on, somebody wrote something up here. I wanted to go back to and talk about this. Someone said, Nakia Jones said, I had that before in my last relationship, and we had too many conversations. It was just like what you said. He was putting it on me. He finally said he was set in his ways, and he was basically lazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so she was basically talking about how he blamed her for what was going wrong in the bedroom. But
so I know her, and I know this kind of what she's talking about. So I'm gonna let y'all kind of address that because I'm a little biased with that.
Okay, I would just say that I think that that's a real thing when it comes to a lot of relationships where people don't communicate or they just don't like the transparency. But you said something that was really um truthful. You know, you have to find a person that allows you to be you and allows you that you can be open and honest with and that you can be vulnerable with and you can be your most authentic self with. And that is the basis for any healthy relationship. And I just feel like whatever you decide to do, this is for everybody's watching. This is a X-rated raw real conversation about sex because I find that a lot of people can't even talk about sex. They can't even say it. They're if you say vagina and penis, they feel like, it's taboo, you know?
Yeah.
These are conversations that we really need to have as people so that we can get to where we need to be in relationships. Like these are the difficult conversations we need to have. So yes, we being raw tonight.
Yeah. You can't be around me and be that, you know, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
Someone said he does men too. So I'm gonna let you address that. Somebody asked the question, does he, because you had said something about two men or two women in the room, or you was giving it, so I'm gonna let you address that.
So first of all, no.
Okay.
And second, that's weird. See, the problem that most folks have is when you, I'm trying to say it in a way that's where I'm not gonna like this person up. But the problem that I have with people is whenever you say something or you talk about something or you're involved in something that is outside of the scope of what they consider normal, right? Then here come all of the other add-ons that, oh, well, if he does this, then he probably does this, or if they're doing this, then they probably do this too. When really you could ask, or if you don't really want to know and you'd like to just sit and try to take a fucking guess at whatever the fuck is going on, then shut the fuck up. You could just do that.
Someone asked the question.
So he's deflecting from the question that the caller asked him, would he engage or in a menage a trois with another man and his woman? I didn't deflect. I answered that. I said, as far as a threesome goes, meaning all three people sexually interacting, fuck no, because I do not engage sexually with other men. As far as what you would consider a train, if that's something that is that she was interested in, probably. Did that answer your question?
I think it answered it.
All right.
I think it answered it. I think that I do think that people have a hard time accepting things that are outside of the box for what they're used to. But I think that whatever you decide to do in your marriage and your relationship,
in your comfort of your home,
and is undefiled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or even beyond that, because what it is that I do, the things that it is that you're doing, if you're putting it on video, not everybody is going to like it. Not everybody is going to understand it. Not everybody is going to agree with it. That's the wonderful thing about social media. You can scroll the fuck up.
Facts.
Like, you do not have to engage with things that it is that you don't like. That's why I never understood people going to a post, finding a post to try to argue. If you're having a conversation, cool. You're giving your opinion on something, cool. But why are you seeking out things that it is that you don't like, that you claim to not like, to engage in?
I just think that we need to have difficult conversations in our community about, because this is a real thing, right? And it's a lot of men who are cheating on their wives, their spouses, and it's a lot of women who are unsexually satisfied with their partners because they're unable to have the conversation. They don't know how to have the dialect. And I'm just saying, have the conversation, regardless of what that person like or what you like or whatever. Just be transparent.
Because you have two choices, really. You can have that conversation and try to come to some type of agreement or some type of resolution where you're happy, or you can sit around miserable and hold on until it hurts your hands to do so.
And I think it's a lot of, in my opinion, in my conversations that I have had with women, it's a lot of women that's walking around sexually not satisfied in their relationships. They like everything about the guy and who he is as a person, right? He's a wonderful person. He treats them well. He's good to them. But sexually, they are not satisfied by that partner. And she goes to bed after she sleep with him, she go in the bathroom and she takes the shower head, and she getting herself off because she's not happy, or she's waiting till he roll over and he sleep, and she's jacking up, masturbating. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not happy with him sexually. And instead of saying like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, she won't say nothing because she wants to spare him his feelings. And I just feel like as women, we need to speak up. Like, let's speak up on it.
I have a question for you.
Wait, hold up. Look, no, I'm just scared. Go ahead.
So, how many guys do you know that you feel like are in relationships where they are not sexually satisfied?
I think it's a lot of guys that be in. I think it's equal. I
Yeah, I
think
think so
guys are.
too.
I think guys can be in relationships where they are not sexually satisfied, and I think that a lot of times they don't say anything. But the difference is, I think that men who are not sexually satisfied, they seek out other women. And
Okay, so here's what it is that I'll give you with that. Being a person who was on both sides of this situation, I was in a relationship with a woman for 5 years. I was very dissatisfied sexually for probably 3.5 years of that. So aside from the fact that, like, the sex just dropped off, but it was boring and routine, right? Um, being on the other side of that, a lot of my in my late 20s to mid 30s, a lot of my side nigga positions that I filled were with women who were seeking out somebody else because they were exactly what it is that you were talking about when you said that they, love this guy and every other in every other aspect he was this great guy, but sexually he just wasn't that guy. So women, there are plenty of women who are on the side of seeking out somebody else when they're sexually not satisfied.
absolutely.
I would say maybe even equal to the amount of guys. I feel like a lot of women think that guys have this perception that women don't cheat as much, if not more, than guys. And I'm smart enough to know they just don't get caught as much.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
You know,
So let's
you know
go
what? I've
there.
said that so many times.
And I roll
And
my eyes in the back of my head
I'm
every
glad
time.
I'm not the only one person that feel that way. Women cheat more. No, seriously.
I just understand that they don't get caught as much, and they don't get caught as much for this one main reason.
Uh-oh.
9 times out of 10, with the exception of the shit that we're seeing today all over social media with that Remy and Papoose and Easy to Block Captain and all that bullshit, with the exception of a few guys, the majority of the side dudes, they don't want to be the main guy.
Anyway, they don't want to.
So they shut up because that's free pussy. That is a well of free pussy that will never run dry as long as you play your position. Side girls, on the other hand, side chicks, on the other hand, they want to do shit like, I'm gonna get him pregnant so I can trap him and he gonna be in my life forever. Or I want to be number one, so let me sneakily let this shit get out so him and his girl start beefing at home and then I can be the person that it is that he runs to. That's why guys get caught more, because the women on the other side of that don't like playing second position for too long. So
Lamita talking about heart, love.
yeah, they make themselves. That's why I'm saying, when I'm saying like sneakily let this stuff get out, if they do stuff like that, or they have somebody else, these fake accounts start sending information and all weird stuff that I've seen over the course of me dealing with women. They do weird stuff. So the thing is, we got to start being honest. When you were talking about having honest conversations, I 100% agree. One of those honest conversations is recognizing how much higher the rate of women who cheat in relationships is than people actually want to, like, it are willing to admit.
Well, you know what I always say.
What do you always say?
If you ain't see it, ain't never happened. No, I'm just kidding.
See,
I'm just
that's
kidding. But
crazy.
honest about this part.
What's that?
Right? I'm just joking, for real.
Okay.
But if it didn't happen, because a lot of men be thinking women cheating and they not. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know I have had friends that got accused of cheating and they were not cheating on their mate, but he feels like she is because she's being judged based off of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at the chat right now, and so many women are saying he is so right.
It is a lot of women saying that he's right about things. Yep. Not about that part though. If the side if the side pieces if the side piece try to fuck up your relationship, then she'll never be the main one.
True, but she don't think that. There's always think about drug use, right? Think about new crackheads. No new crackhead has gone into smoking crack and been like, I want to be a crackhead. They all go into smoking crack thinking it's not going to do me like it did everybody else. Same thing with side chicks. Oh, I see how it work out for other side chicks when they fuck up the relationship at home, but it's not gonna go that way for me. I'm gonna fuck it up at home, and he gonna run to me because this nigga actually love me. He really want to be with me. Nah, you're gonna be the next crackhead. It's gonna work for you the same way it worked for every other crackhead. But they don't understand that when it starts.
You know what? It's that's deep.
It's true.
I can't dispute that because I do think that's true. I think that whatever you start is how it's gonna finish. I really believe that. If you got, but I think it's a lot of people that lie too. I think it's a lot of guys that get women into relationships, right? And they know that they have another relationship and she don't know. So they coming in and she don't know she's a side chick. But she the side
Well,
chick.
we're talking about the ones that do know, though.
Yeah, talk about the ones that do. And then I also find it crazy that there are so many women who are against things like poly and or open relationships, but they will happily sneak around with somebody.
Or
into me.
He got another woman because or he has other people that he's dealing with. You know that. You've been in a poly relationship before. You've been in a poly relationship. You just didn't know. He just went to her house first and then yours. But y'all was still in a poly relationship.
So I'll tell you, some years ago, when I first moved to where it is that I live now, that 5-year relationship I was talking about, I had just gotten out of that. So my whole thing was I decided anybody that I deal with from now on is going to take whatever the fuck it is that I'm saying I want to do, or they can go the fuck on, because I've been locked down with somebody that I was not happy with for 5 years. I'm going to be happy, or you can go on about your business. Every person I dealt with knew I was dealing with other people. There was never a secret. There was never you had to guess. If you called and there was a chick that was gargling my balls, I was telling you, hey, I'm getting my dick sucked right now. I'll hit you back. That's how it was. And do you know that with that situation, the only thing that I asked was this: you give me that same honesty. I'm not telling you not to do nothing. I'm not telling you if you do, I'm going to cut you off. I'm not telling you none of that. All I'm telling you is give me that same honesty. I literally had a woman sit on my fucking couch after I fucking found out basically everything on my own and start giving me all of these situations, or giving me the details on all these situations where she had been fucking other people. And after she went through all of this and was crying and talking about how sorry she was, I just asked her one question: the fuck was the point? Because literally you would call me and I'd be knocking somebody else's fucking wife off on that same couch that you're sitting on. And I would tell you, hey, I'm shooting a video in 5 minutes or so. So if you call me and I don't answer, that's what I'm doing. And I'm on the road working. I call you, you don't answer the phone. When you finally do call me back, I ask you, hey, what was going on? Or, oh, I was with the girls and I was doing this and blah, 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 blah. And you had a dick in your mouth. If you would have said, hey, the one guy that I told you moved to Dallas came back up here and we were fucking, I forgot to let you know he was coming. That's why I didn't answer the phone. Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, what you doing for the rest of the day? I'm on the road. I don't give a fuck what you're doing.
But it's the same reason why I think that that's a person issue, right? Like a human person issue, because I feel like the same thing with men. Like a woman could say, I don't want you to, I would rather you tell me that you're going to sleep with somebody else than just go out here and sleep with somebody else. Or you can have a woman that be like, I'd rather you, if you gonna cheat, I wanna be there too. Like I wanna be present. Like you ain't gotta cheat, just do what you gonna do. Let's do it together. Like you have women who have said that to they.
Don't get me wrong, you are 100% right.
And you know what he'll do? He'll say and then she'll find out he been cheating on her with the same girl that he just said was his friend or whatever. And he'll be cheating on her. And the thing is, it's like all you had to do is just say what it is that you know that you was doing. But
Yep.
he'll be like, oh, you ruined it. Some guy, and I've heard guys say, like, let that, like, I've seen posts on Facebook, let that man cheat in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, he want to cheat. He want to, it's the thrill and the excitement of getting it off that they really be,
I think
fun out if he can't cheat.
I think there are a couple of different reasons. A couple of different reasons why that's the case, though. And I think there are a couple of different avenues you can go with that. But I'll say this. What you said is absolutely right, because I've seen it happen. I've seen a woman literally tell this man, listen, I like bitches. I like to watch you with bitches. You don't got, if you bring a bitch home, if she don't want to fuck me because she don't think I'm attractive, or I don't want to fuck her because I like to watch you fuck, bring her home. If you can't bring her home with some in the moment shit, take a video. Call me. Tell me what's going on. Whatever the case is, just let me know. And that motherfucker was still sneaking. So you're right. I've seen it happen. Also, though, that's exactly what I'm telling you was my situation with me telling them what the fuck was going on and being like, just tell me. So I think what it really comes down to is a lot of times it's not believable and you have to show them that it is. So it's a situation where it's not common. So if you tell somebody, hey, listen, I don't care what you're doing, I just care whether or not you're honest with me about it, they're probably not going to believe you because it's going to feel like a setup. Like, I don't really think that this motherfucker is going to be cool with me doing whatever the fuck it is I want to do. And then, they're not going to create a fucking argument or something like that about it. It does kind of sound like maybe it might be a setup. But I think it really just comes down to, whether or not you can really show that person that you mean what the hell you're saying.
Yeah, and I just think that I even know situations where women have, like, where they've shown the guy, like, yo, this is what she's really into, like, it's okay. And they still cannot they just don't believe it, or they think that they can't be as transparent as they want to be or they want to be, so they just still hide it. And I mean, and I know women all the time, like that, because I come in contact with a lot of men and males and stuff like that. And in my conversations with them, they'll tell me, like, yeah, I've been cheating on her I've been with my side chick. I've been married for 10 years, been with my side chick for 9. And my marriage wouldn't work if I didn't have my side chick.
I've
How fair is that?
seen it. I've seen it.
It's unfair.
And like I said, I feel like it sucks, but I feel like that kind of plays into a lot of what we talked about earlier when it comes to the transparency, the communication, the willingness to kind of step outside of your comfort zone and do certain things that maybe you wouldn't have considered doing before. Because like I said, I've been there. There are things now that I have been open to as 43-year-old me, that 30-year-old me would have been like, get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
And this is I like this comment that this person put up. LBE Alinda said, not a lot of callers because most don't want to discuss this issue, but rather hide behind social media and judge. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Somebody said, what's the number? The number is 216-245-3380.
Call in now.
You can call in now if you like. Yeah, we're all right and break it down, girl. Yeah, because I just think that's how it go. I mean, like, at the end of the day, just that's why I tell people like you have to. And most of the time, when I find what I find is that people can't have these conversations because they haven't accepted themselves. They don't know who they are. You don't know who you are as a person. Because when you really go in your own skin, you just be you. It's like, hey, like you might not agree with me, you might not like it, whatever, but this is who I am, you know? And so I just think you have to find people that know who they are. Hold on.
And that's the thing too. It's like you can disagree with things, but still be respectful.
Oh, we got a caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Juicy Talk.
What's going on?
What's going on? Can you state your name, your age, and where you calling from?
Oh, that. This is Asante. I'm 61.
Oh, shit.
Calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Asante.
What's happening?
What's going on?
What's on your mind?
I got a question. I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Is this a setup or not? I've been in a relationship with it'll be 7 years next year.
Okay.
And a couple years ago, me and my girl, we just chilling in the living room, just talking. And she gave me an opportunity to go to a swingers club. And she gave me a date when the time frame would be over. She said, if you don't make a decision by this date, you can't do it. Now, we fresh in a relationship a couple years. And she's saying, you know, you can have if you want to cheat, I'm going to give you an opportunity to go and do something. But after that, no more. Is that a setup? Or was she really trying to get me to get my little royal oak settled? And so me and her can go into this relationship, right?
She might have. I think that it could have went. I mean, only you can really answer that, and only she can. I mean, but either way, to me, in my opinion, either way, it's like, were you willing to accept whatever happened after that? And was she willing to accept whatever happened after that? Because I feel like this: if your girl gave you that pass, right, and you did it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then she came back and was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, I just was trying to see if you did it, and since you did, we can't be together." Then that
That's
ain't who
why
you
I
want
didn't
to.
do it.
Guess
That's
what? But that
exactly
don't.
why I
But
didn't
guess
do
what?
it.
That ain't who you want to be with anyway. Because guess what?
But
You can't be yourself.
that's true. But this is my thinking. She only put that out there was because she was getting hit so good. She was like, look, if you're going to go do something, you need to go do it now because you ain't going to be spreading yourself around with everybody. And I'm looking at her like, I'm just going to chill. I'm happy with you. I'm not taking the bait. I'm too experienced for that.
So I'm going to say,
I'll put it in a minute.
attention to detail. The verbiage she used. She said, if you want to cheat. She didn't say if you want to go and like have some fun, if you want to go experience some new shit, if you want to go. She didn't say that. She said if you want to cheat. That was definitely a setup. 100% a setup.
He said
Yeah,
she didn't say the word cheat.
She didn't say the word cheat, but she was just saying, go on out there to the swingers club and you know, get your freak on and that's gonna be it.
The best response to that would have been, when we going?
Let's go together.
Right.
Hey,
I'm taking you with me. We gonna go together.
Put it back on her.
You know what, brother? I did say that. I did invite her to go too. We can do it as a couple. She's like, no, we don't need to be singing together.
Oh, that was a setup.
She said we don't need to be singing together.
No. Setup. 100% setup.
But my thing is, let's say it was a setup, right? If you did it, then what? Because like at the end of the day, would you really want to be with a person that will put you in a scenario to be set up? Like, because I wouldn't want to be with a person that put me in a situation to be set up. Like,
yeah, don't text me. Don't text me like that. Don't do that because if I pick up and that's what you're doing, I'm gonna do some shit on purpose and hurt your feelings.
Right.
Don't do that.
I got to be able to trust you at your word. If you tell me, okay, we're gonna do this is what we're gonna do, then I got to be able to trust that we can do this, and that's what you want to do. You know, I have to be able to trust your word in whatever situation it is. What you're teaching me is that you lie to me, put me in a trap, and set me up. Like, that's crazy. Who would do that? That don't make any sense.
Well, it's a good thing I was in a position where I was done running the streets and doing all that. The purpose of me being with her was because I wanted to settle down. So that wasn't gonna work with me.
Yeah, and then you didn't have the desire to do it. You just like, babe, that ain't even what I really want to do. And if that's not what you want to do, then it's not even a conversation we need to have.
And not to be bragging, but that's just too easy. That's too easy for me. I like challenges.
Right.
If I was gonna go do something, I want to be challenged.
I feel you.
I say I can throw a rock and hit 6 bitches that a cartwheel on it. That's not not appealing, like, for real. I mean, it's all kind of like, for me, if it's not making me no money, I ain't interested.
Whoa.
Okay. So thank you so much, Santiel, for calling in.
You're welcome. Thanks for taking my call, y'all.
Always. Thank you for always being a caller. We appreciate you for always tuning in. All right. So I got a question. Here we go. There's a lot of men out here who are burned out with every aspect of a pussy. Type, size, depth, wet, dry, wide, tight, etc. Then they become bi-curious and ready to try new adventures. There are too many bi-curious men perpetrating behind a false facade.
Wow.
Now, I got to talk on it, Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat. You know what? To be honest, I know a person that was in a relationship with a guy, and she really was thinking that her dude might be gay. Like, he was having a lot of different things that was happening with him. I ain't even gonna tell y'all, because if I said it, no. Like, he kept having, anal problems, yeah, and nobody knew why, I mean,
hemorrhoids?
No. You're not gonna just like skip over. What the fuck do you mean anal problems?
Had hemorrhoids real bad.
That's a show.
I don't know, but I don't know, but I and then she said that he was never satisfied. Like, no matter what she did, he could never be satisfied. Like, she could not sleep with him enough. He was constantly getting caught cheating. Like, he was doing all kind of crazy stuff. And it was like, and she was, I know my homegirl, she was sleeping with him all the time. She was giving it to him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he still was out here bleeding from his rectum. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know what that was.
If the rest of that, so the rest of that, I would put into a different box from the ass problems, because the ass problems puts that in a whole nother context.
Right.
For me, like, that's kind of like the other stuff though, about like being hypersexual or whatever. This is one of those situations where people start not liking me because I start putting a mirror up to folks. So, and I promise you, I'm not going to stay there, because I know that that's not what we're talking about. But this is where it gets like a little bit more deep. Think of situations that it is that you have seen, like social media wise or whatever, where you have like young girls being sexualized in the media, and how quickly people jump on that type of thing and talk about how wrong and how terrible that is, right? But you don't have that same protection for young boys. So a lot of boys at young ages were sexualized, and a lot of people don't talk about that. That breeds hypersexuality when boys become men, right? So
why that is? Do you think that they're trying to prove their masculinity, or do you think it's because
it's a cross between a bunch of different things, right? Because you have like people who, first of all, I'll say this. Us as a community, Black folks are just now starting to wake up to a bunch of different things. And I love that for us as a whole, right? We're starting to wake up to the importance of mental health issues and things like that. We're starting to wake up to how important it is to keep up with our bodies. We're starting to wake up to a bunch of different things. One of the last things that we're waking up to, however, is how young boys are treated and how, when they're raised, what is appropriate and what isn't, right? Typically, young boys are taught this: you have to be hard all the time. It's not okay to cry. It's not okay to express your feelings, and all of this type of stuff. And then they also are not looked after the same way that young girls are looked after when it comes to protecting them sexually, right? When you have boys who it was that were, say myself, for instance, I was 15 years old and slept with my fucking teacher. Now, as a 15-year-old, I thought that shit was fire. I was accomplished. I was like, I fucked my teacher. She's this Greek chick, olive colored skin, really curly hair, thick as fuck. I'm running around with my fucking chest super swole. As an adult, you realize how fucking sick that was, right? But when you have all of these stories, it's a little bit different now. It's starting to shift. But traditionally, it's been, if you would have heard something like that, your ears don't perk up the same way they would have if it was like, oh, the girl at 15 was fucking her male teacher. So all of that to say, that breeds a lot of hypersexuality in men. So I always say that when you have a guy who is just like, he's shooting like every chance he fucking gets. I crossed the triple digits when I was like 18, 19. When I was younger, I wasn't smoking and drinking or nothing like that. I couldn't go home smelling like weed or alcohol, cigarettes, and none of that type of shit. But when I would go to these parties and everybody else is getting high and passing out, it was me and all the girls that were awake. Naturally, I'm gonna take advantage of the shit that I'm gonna get in where I fit in. What I wasn't understanding was there were a lot of things happening around me, things that I was exposed to, things that I saw, things that I heard that were kind of like programming me to be like, hey, you already got one part of it down. You swing on anybody that disrespects you. You don't fucking show any type of emotions, and your whole mission is to fuck as many girls as you possibly fucking can. This is where that programming was. So I'm not going to put that shit on that dude's jacket because he was hypersexual. I am going to kind of be like, bro, you bleeding from your ass a lot. It's probably some other shit going on. So I'm kind of, I don't know with that one.
So somebody said, but I do agree with you about men having like, because I know a lot. What's crazy is I've had conversations with a lot of them tell me that the teacher they done slept with their teachers. And at first I was like, yeah, right. You know, but I think that it was a thing amongst men that were like, especially like 40 and up. Like it was a lot of women molesting boys.
Mm-hmm.
And getting away with it. Like seriously, it was like a whole epidemic. And we did not talk about it. And it was like boys was being boys. Yeah. Boys being boys.
At 15, there was a situation with the teacher, but then there was also, I grew up in West Virginia, and I stayed in these apartments, and across the street from these apartments, you had the lower middle class neighborhood across the street, and then where the trees kind of divided us from the next street over, you had the middle class neighborhoods right here. But I was talking to this girl named Crystal who lived across the street from me, and I would go over her house sometime and everything. And of course, like a fucking idiot, I was over there fucking this chick. And one of the last times that I went over there, we got caught by her mom, who promptly got on her knees in front of me and helped finish me off. So, and this was at 15. So when I say like situations like this, like when you are around me and you hear my people say shit like you should write a fucking book, it's because of things like this. So, you know, yeah, like if you take any one serious thing that has nothing to do with adults having sex and shit like that away from this, when it comes to stuff that I've said, take this. Start looking out for the young boys that you are around the same way you would for the young women that you are around.
I agree. Yeah. Definitely. And you know what? This is so deep. Jimmy said Omar Epps' high school character in Juice was boning a divorcee and nobody blinked. You are so right. Oh my gosh. Like,
Folks are programmed to feel like it's a guy.
it's
It's
okay.
okay.
And that was really, and that was, you're absolutely right. Never even thought about it, but you are absolutely right. Wow. Mm. Somebody, she said, me listening as a super late bloomer sexually.
Oh,
Yeah, I just think, that's crazy. I teach the movie. Yeah, so nuts. Absolutely nuts.
choose your
That's
words.
crazy. Oh, choose my words carefully.
Right.
Oh, my bad.
Right.
If you are guys, if you are bleeding from your ass and it has nothing to do with something going in there, please go get that checked out. Like, I know we cracking jokes about it, but that you could be looking at some serious shit going on with you.
You can have colon cancer. You can have all kind of different things going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the doctor and it ain't nothing wrong with you, then what?
Yeah, then you probably need to stop playing in there or letting somebody else play in there. Just for you, my guy.
My guy. Right.
Oh, my guy. That's the truth. Okay. This been a really great conversation.
No.
What you think?
Yeah.
This was deep.
I know, right?
We touched. Listen, if you're watching and you stay through the whole show, we'll be back to our regular programming next week.
Yeah, I won't be here to blow it up.
Yeah.
So,
What up?
Listen, we enjoy. Listen, I'm so happy that.
What's so crazy though? I'm gonna say
Yeah,
this.
somebody said he needs some roughage and some fiber. All
But you know
that.
what? I'm looking at it's so crazy to me. I'm looking at our numbers today. Every time we do our show, our numbers it fell maybe our numbers maybe fell to like 15, back to 20. But I've never seen the numbers this high. I don't understand that. But I'm just
Somebody said that he's being banged in the behind. That's why he's not interested in your friend. I think you might be right.
so notice that the numbers is up today.
Yeah, I definitely. They said Schwack man. They said you need your own pod for real. Really impressed.
appreciate you, bro. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on something. We'll
Yeah, and when you
so much real life going on.
When you start your
Thanks.
podcast,
Oh, you're right. Thanks, Wood.
make sure that you have your.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a good show, very interesting and informative topic. I felt like it was very informative too. I think that a lot of people just don't have these conversations, and I'm telling you, as long as I'm on here, Juicy gonna give it to you. It's gonna be juicy, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, this was fun. I hope to
Blushing and laughing the entire show. Yes.
Yeah, I hope
Oh,
you
I
know.
can't wait to have you on, Jimmy. You said you wrote a whole book. You're gonna have to hit me up at Juicy Talk at JUCTALK@gmail.
When you find out about this book too, let me know because I'd be interested to find out what that's about.
Yes, great show. Yeah, we just be having. Listen, I cannot stress enough how much in our community we need to have these type of conversations because we don't have them, and we need to. We need to have these conversations. For far too long, we've been quiet, we've been silent, and like you said, we're waking up to things, and I love that for us too. And I love that we are having these type of conversations that we should have been having. And before we go, I just want to say this. PSA, men, please find out what it is that makes your woman tick. All women are not created equal. We are all different. Listen, if you bang, 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 bang constantly, she's probably not going to have an orgasm that way. You might need to slow it down, give her a little slow and sensual, because we need that shit. You understand? If she's acting crazy, that's probably what's wrong with her. she needs
also start that sex with her way before you even put hands on her or close to her.
Clap button. Where the clap button at?
Start that sex with her way before, because you can wind her up and get her ready way before.
And
before.
And then when you touch her, she like boom.
Yeah, that build up is a motherfucker. Trust me.
Please say it again. The build up is everything. It start way before you get to the bedroom. It start way before you. If you get to the bedroom, you too late. If you at the bed
where you starting,
if your play is in the bedroom, baby, you too late. It was supposed to start a long time ago, earlier in that day when she was washing dishes, when she was cooking for them kids, and you should have, hey, baby. Wait. Let me whisper something in your ear. Let me tell you something. You know, it's not
that little cheek squeeze and that neck kiss, little shit like that throughout the day. Just little things. Don't gotta be nothing too over the top.
Listen, choke her a little bit while she washing the dishes. Just baby, let me kiss you. Oh, I'm talking too much. Let me show that. I told y'all regular programming next week.
Crazy.
Don't we? You got to learn a woman's body and what she likes. It's a mental game. It's absolutely all mental. Yes, it's mental. You have to create a safe place for one another. Communicate. Absolutely. You know, I'm all about that. Talk me to death.
I know.
Talk me to death. You know, you got to talk to me. Tell me something good. Because I only plan on going to sleep. She said, yes, right, because I only planned on going to sleep. She said she was going to bed.
She wasn't done.
Yeah, yes, all of that. But guess what? Do it in the kitchen. It's while washing the dishes. Absolutely.
Yeah, washing the dishes when we out at I'm worse though, because we walking the aisles at the grocery store and I'm on some trash.
At Walmart?
Hump me.
Listen.
Hump me.
Let me tell you, I be at Walmart doing some crazy shit. Like you turn this way and I'm purposely like reaching past you to put the hand around your waist and pull you in while I'm grabbing some shit behind you. I'm one of them.
That's the part. That's what we love, that shit. We do. We love it. Like, you know what I'm
saying? Yeah, I'm one of them.
Public.
I promise you, if I could get off with some shit without going to fucking jail, I would. Like, we being on the fucking little sample tray at one of them fucking grocery stores, getting to it.
I can't take him no more.
Hey.
Sample tray at Sam's Club, getting to it. Don't play with me, man.
Okay. Listen, but it takes all of that. Like, you want to feel, because really what that does is make you feel desired. It makes you feel like the person you with desires you all the time. And as a woman, we like that. We want to feel like he finds me attractive. I know my man, I'm fine, and he loves me how I am. When I'm in the house, you know, with my bra off over there somewhere, and I'm washing dishes, and I'm looking crazy, and my bonnet on, he's still like, you sexy to me, baby.
Baby.
For sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, make me feel sexy while I'm cleaning. Okay. That's my favorite. Yes, Kim. Me, girl.
Okay.
While I'm okay, I'm talking too much. Let me stop.
You get into it. That's crazy.
I was about to say something. I had to stop myself. Like, oh, I'm on the show. Okay, now I'm gonna calm down. But I'm just saying, it does. See, I done got excited. I'm like, oh, like yes. Because it's something that I feel like not like that excitement. I'm talking about like just the conversation. I know. Because it's like, as women, like we really need that. And it's an art form to it that is gone. It was a reason why, you know, granddad was getting his lunches packed with your grandma and the moo. It was a reason. He was loving on her all doggone day. He was telling her she was beautiful all the time. Come here, baby. That's my baby right there. You know, and like in my family, I watched my uncle, who was in love with my aunt Julia, and how he would just, that's my baby. You see her, she's fine. Come here, girl. Oh, wait, you know, all of that stuff matter. And it makes all the difference.
It's sad because I feel like now there are guys who are more concerned with trying to be, you know, viewed as like, you know, tough and all of that. When you have no use for that and you can kind of put that energy to where it's supposed to go, you know what I mean? Like when you don't have that point to prove anymore, you put that energy where it's needed. And that right there does a lot because I can actually focus on putting it where, you know, I got this person feeling as she should, like she's the most important thing on the planet. You know what I mean? Like all of that trying to poke your chest out for I've never understood trying to impress a whole bunch of other dudes. Like I don't want to do that. For me, it's like I think it's a thing for me. Like I do stuff for her that I try to piss off the people around her on purpose. So like if she's at work, I have things delivered at work to piss her coworkers off. I'm the obnoxious, big, gigantic ass fucking balloons and fucking flowers and gifts and shit just because it's a fucking Tuesday. I'm one of them. So
that's beautiful. That's how it's supposed to be, though. Can you teach a class? Because like when let me tell you why I say that. Because we did a show like a little while back, and I said something about guys buying flowers. And I said there was nothing wrong with the guy showing up for a first date and having flowers because I said, hold up, you'll have your turn. I said that I think flowers are beautiful because it sets him apart. He's doing something different. You know, it's something different. Like you wasn't expecting it. So get flowers. So my thing is, you know, speak on it. Would you buy a woman flowers on the first date?
yeah. Now I will say you kind of like when we were talking about like knowing a woman's body and things like that, you also have to know the woman herself. So maybe flowers might not be the thing that this particular woman is going to respond well to. You could date somebody and she's just kind of like, oh, thanks. And she'll never pick them up again until it's time for her to leave. You can tell she doesn't really care about that type of thing. Now, I will say that's a trial and error thing, unless you are so well prepared and are able to read a personality type so well that you can be like, all right, with the conversation that we had, this is probably not going to work for her. I will say that if that is something that it is that woman is into, that is definitely a great way to start things.
Okay, somebody said she could take it for granted though, so that's a test of its own. I do think it's a test, but I think like and you're right. You have to see what type of woman she is, right? Because like all women won't appreciate it the same. But like for the most part, I feel like most girly girls, most women who are, you know, are like that, they love flowers. You know, it's sweet.
And at the end of the day, they're not super fucking expensive. So it's not like you have a big loss if you buy the flowers and she's not really into them. If you're not able to really read that personality that well before the date, I mean, if you buy some flowers and she's like, oh, hey, thank you. Okay, what'd you do? Lose $30, $40 and, you know, whatever.
Like what Slot Philosophies by Shy said. Awesome. He said, awesome. Treat her like where's it at? He said, treat her like everyone else is your competition, even once she is no longer up for grabs as the prize. Ugh. Ugh. That shit.
That's a player. That's a player's line.
No, and I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, it definitely is, but yeah, but it doesn't make it any less true though. So it's you know, yeah, it definitely is.
Look, yum yum. I'm eating it up. Yum yum. The Walmart shit, that's not mental, dude. That's what we get tired of sometimes. Make love to my mind and the body will reciprocate naturally and freely. I think it's an all thing because that is making love to my mind. Like for me, like I want to, because like I said, yeah, he might be smacking you on your ass and walking in Walmart and grabbing on you and stuff. But what he's saying to me is, what? Like, I find you sexy. I find you attractive. I like you. Yes, let's have intimate conversations. It's a time and a place. Let's have intimate conversations in the bed while we're just sitting up talking about nothing. Let's be vulnerable with one another. Yes, you're gonna have times too, but all of it goes together because we're complex. We like a lot of different stuff. We don't gotta like just one thing. We like it all. I want it all.
And it depends on the person that you're dealing with.
No, but I think it's probably inappropriate.
It depends on the person that you're dealing with too. So there might be some people who are not super into public displays of affection and things like that. Yeah. But anybody that I have ever been with, say for maybe one person that I've had like a serious relationship with, those are things that it is that they've loved, and where I, now that's definitely a thing. So I think the person that it is that I think the person that is that left that comment though, they've been shooting at me this entire fucking interview or this entire pod, like, and that is I'm wondering, do I know this person, or because every time I say something, it's like,
Juju.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. My woman doesn't care about flowers. Yeah, hey.
I
had ones that didn't, so.
Love flowers. I buy them for myself all the time. Somebody said, I'm not working to be chivalrous. My G, that's not it. I don't know. He said, flowers on a date, a must. I agree. It's so beautiful. It's so sexy. It just sets you apart for me. Glad my women don't care about flowers. Whew. Some women don't. See? That's okay too.
See? And that's
Bro said, wait, did he say my women or woman?
No, he said my woman don't care about
flowers. Okay. I was about to say, bro said glad his women, he got them.
And he said, in slot philosophy, he said, I'm a girl though. But I still like the comment. Yum, yum, yum. I mean it up.
Wow.
And yep.
That's
See, it would be a woman. It's interesting. I'm gonna be quiet. Us women have to put in work for y'all to even want to be chivalrous. That's true. We have to put in work. I mean, we shouldn't have to, but the reality is we've been,
Wait, you got to shoot guys some bail on this though, because how many times have you been online and you've seen the whole thing typed out, or like watched a video and seen the whole thing said about the whole a guy has to put you in your feminine space or whatever that bull keeps getting said. Yeah, like, so the whole we have to put in work for you to be, come on, man.
No, I don't think that's what she was
do that.
Saying that the women have to put in work for men to be chivalrous.
Can we have her call in?
Yeah, I think she was saying, I don't know if she wants to call in, but I think that
I want her to explain herself.
Yeah, I would if you
were. I'm a little confused on that one because
Rose E, you're being requested to call in 216-4530. If you can call in. It say what sets women apart though? What are they gifting me? I mean, it depends on the type of woman that you date, because like I think that it's equally important for women to buy men gifts too. I think it's sexy as well. Like, I'm not just a receiver, I'm a giver too.
I've not had anybody buy me gifts until now. Like, I've always been the person who gave shit when I did. And I will say though, if we're being fair, I didn't really give a lot of gifts in past relationships either, because I didn't get that energy. But when there was something given, it was me like 99% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't mind buying men that I like or date things. I'm a giver. I want to see your reaction when you receive something nice. Like, I like that reaction, I give to my friends. It doesn't matter. That's just how I am. But I gotta find a person that's like that. Like I say, you gotta find your tribe. We all out here trying to find our tribe. I know the person in my tribe, he gonna buy me flowers on the first date. I'm just
but that
I'm a giver too. So it's a lot of women in here that are givers.
Kim, are you a giver? Kim Miller, she a giver?
Oh, he said, "Give me a
cooked meal." I feel that.
I feel that's easy. That's easy work. See,
you would be so you would think it was easy.
To get a meal.
Listen.
You know what? What's that one new girl? What is it? Coco? Is it Kiki or something? Cooking with Kiki or something? Is it Cooking with Coco? Oh, it's this girl, and she's doing a cooking show, and a lot of, I guess, she's a pretty girl, and she's cooking food and stuff. And if somebody know it in the chat, say it. But she's cooking, and she's telling women like, if you don't cook for him, I will. I'm gonna take your man.
Hey,
man. That's the truth. My grandmother cooking with Kia. Somebody said cooking with Kia, and she talking about she'll take your man if you ain't cooking. And guess what? I feel like you gotta be able to cook. You do. It's important.
Man,
but whatever you do, be able to maintain it.
Right. Don't start now. You can't finish.
Man,
and it ain't a cooking class.
I done been looking at plates from somebody with fucking undercooked ass chicken. I felt like was gonna give me fucking food poison. I had to get the fuck up out of there so quick.
I cooked you canned green beans and applesauce.
Man, listen, some mac and cheese and some underfried chicken. I'm cool.
Yeah, somebody said I cook and serve the plate. That's right. All right. You better know it.
Okay, Juju. What Juju?
Juju is dirty house can't cook looking for flowers.
Right.
Hey, it is some women out there like that.
What Juju say?
I don't know you. Said I don't know you, my brother. I don't even know your name. We're having a dialogue, nothing personal. She said maybe it's my age and thing, and we just different views. No harm, no foul.
Oh no, I respect it.
Yeah. Kimberly Miller, she laughing. Yes, but it's the truth. Like I do. I think all of those things are important for women as well. Like we talked about, the things that. But yeah, don't no guy want to be with a girl who come in her house and it's dirty. Her sheets stale and they brown.
Oh my God! Yeah, listen.
She can't cook. Or her refrigerator dirty.
No, that just gave me a fucking flashback. So I'm not going to say who because I don't believe in doing that, especially if the person hasn't done anything, really wrong to me. But there's a woman who is here, a really pretty girl, like got a lot going for her physically. And we hooked up a couple times, but when we hooked up, this was some years ago. She was living close to Cleveland State because she was still going there. And whenever we hooked up, it was outside of her apartment. It was either where I was at or we were going somewhere and we would like get in the back seat. It was some shit like that. I went to this woman's house the last time that we ever hooked up. And this was the reason why it was the last time. I tell you, I've never seen a house so fucking filthy in my life. And it started to make me worry about what I exposed myself to dealing with her, because how do you go in a bathroom where you can't even open or close the door completely because there's so much shit on the floor? Or you go in the kitchen and there are dishes that had to have been in there since the fucking Civil War. Like, because there's stuff that you couldn't chisel off of them fucking plates. So, yeah. And she was definitely one of those, you have to do this for me and you have to do that for me. Definitely talk about other people because I wasn't buying her shit. We was here for one reason only. But you got to do this for me. I need that from you if I'm going to give you my attention. So whole dirty house thing, that shit just took me somewhere else.
So listen, somebody said smelling like Black and Milds, dirty clothes, and fried chicken.
Dirty clothes.
Do you know that?
Oh my God, the house smelled like fucking dirty ass post-workout laundry when you walked in the fucking house.
that is a pet peeve of mine. I do not like. I don't want to smell like food.
Oh, yeah.
So like when I cook or any of that, like I'm burning candles while I'm cooking, all of that because I don't want that in my clothes. I don't want it in my.
Yeah, he said cats licking stains on the couch for nourishment. I'm fucking weak. What? Yeah, no, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
no.
Oh.
And listen, like I said, I talk to men a lot who complain about stuff like this, like women houses being really dirty and nasty. You know,
Yeah.
bathroom rings around the toilet, you know, ain't been clean. It's the water clear, but it look brown because the toilet ain't clean, like mold in the shower.
Wild times, wild times.
Yeah, I mean, but I know it's people out there that really live like that. And you know, I mean, it's things that you can do. You gotta be able to. You can't be expecting that. Yeah, you want a home to be clean and inviting. You want your man to feel comfortable. You want him to fall asleep and want to kick off his shoes and stay for a while. You know. How about?
Hey, back to the flowers.
I say, if you go to a chick house and
man,
it's like that, go get her some Comet and some Tide and some Awesome or something, some Fabuloso, some bleach.
Put her gift bag. Get her gift bag together. You move it on. No, this is shit for you.
Yeah, leave it on the porch or something for her, and you know when she opens the door, hopefully she get the message.
Hold on, ring the doorbell, run.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy.
I know it's a lot of. I know. I've heard a lot of guys say that. Man, I've heard guys say a lot of stuff. You know, just being real. You know, I mean, like real bad stuff, but.
Okay. Well, listen, y'all. I'm getting out of here.
We are ending the show. It's been great. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
I had a blast with you guys. I appreciate it.
And next time, and you know what? Invite me on your show.
I got you. As soon as everything is going, I got y'all on there.
All right. I
appreciate you.
All right. Y'all good.
All right, King.
This was a great show.
Whew, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty explicit.
Yeah, it was explicit, but it was real. Listen, everybody not gonna have the same expression level as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely amusing. I love the conversation that we had today. Wow. This was great.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not a virgin. He was saying some stuff like
he was keeping it real.
Like
TRU.
Titties and
hell yeah. But why do we have such a hard time saying those things?
I know, right?
Like because it's a real thing. Balls and titties and penises and vaginas exist. We all here because of one.
Yeah. But I guess I
you know what I'm saying? We all here because of a set. You know what I'm saying? So hey, we gotta have these conversations. It's okay.
But
yeah, but it was dope.
It was dope.
Yes. So thank y'all for tuning in. This was another great juicy talk conversation. And like I always say, it's gonna be juicy, y'all. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. We appreciate you. Go like and subscribe. JUCTALK. Hit the notification button.
All right. Peace.
Good night.